Welcome back. Week 6 start sit matchups. Hello, Josh. How you doing?
Doing well, doing well. Excited for a new week, new beginnings.
Yeah, hopefully you'll get a win this week.
yeah, yeah. We can just move on. Go ahead. Go.
Yeah, I guess we could start off with tonight's game, Thursday night football, Giants at Patriots. It's supposed to be a pretty bad weather game. It's looking like. On the Patriots side, Rex Burkhead and Phillips Dorsett's out. Other than that, you're pretty much starting everyone on that team.
Yep.
James White, Sony Michel, Tom Brady, Edelman Gordon, you're all starting.
They're gonna put up a
Uh,
lot of points real quick, and
yep,
hopefully you get a piece of it.
definitely. On the other side, the Giants are banged up. Like, they have no starters. Barkley's out, still. Gallman's out, Shepard's out, Ingram's out. So you're starting no one. You're
Yeah.
just staying away.
No, no. Don't touch a giant at
So,
all.
yep. Yeah, that game's quick and easy, so we'll just move on to the next one, really.
Yep.
Next we got Panthers versus the Bucks. This game's the second game playing in London. Um, Cam Newton's still out, so you're not messing with him. Run CMC, obviously he's back to practice, so you're going to start him this week.
He's always a go.
Greg, yeah, he's always a go. It was just he may have
Mm-hmm.
he like had that injury at the end of the game, so you didn't know if he was playing, but
Mm-hmm.
looks like he's going to go. Greg Olson, you're starting. DJ Moore, you're starting for sure. On the other side of the ball, uh, Chris Godwin was dealing with a hip issue, but he's back at full practice today, so you're starting him.
Yeah, I would.
Um, Mike Evans, you're starting. Jameis Winston, he's always kind of on the edge. If it me, I'm starting him. He's kind of been hot, or the
He's
whole team has been hot too, so I'd start him.
If you have him, I'd ride a high
Yeah,
hand. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. As far as the running backs go, I think I'm sitting them out. I'm sitting them. That old line's kind of banged up, and
Mm-hmm.
just kind of stay away from them this week.
Yeah. Yeah, and too wishy-washy,
Um,
especially with the Buccaneers.
yeah,
Yeah,
they just
it's
seem like they're throwing it really. So I would just
hmm
stick to the passing game. And OJ Howard, I'm staying away until I see something out of him. He's got that big play up ability, but just wait until he does something.
it's that's sad to see. So who's their? I'm trying to think. His name's escaping me right now, but their offensive coordinator. Uh,
Um, Not
but he
sure.
never uses the tight end, and it was always thought of that it was lack of skill at the position of tight. He never had the skill position at tight
I
end.
think it's is it Byron Leftwich? Did he take over?
Offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
or
possibly that actually sounds correct. Yes. Because I
yeah.
wanted to think it was Arizona that just never had a tight end to deal with in the first place. But no, it's
Yeah.
just his offensive scheme. He just does not use the tight end.
Yeah.
That's all.
I will say that I think Leftwich did come out and make a statement that OJ Howard, his time is coming, whatever that means.
Yeah.
I still say just wait and see. I wouldn't start him.
No.
I still say
If you have any
keep him
other
on your bench.
option.
I wouldn't drop him yet, but just keep him on your bench and see what he does.
Hmm.
Um, all right, we can move on to the next game. Seahawks at the Browns. Seahawks side of the ball, you're pretty much starting everyone. Wilson, Lockett, Carson, and even Will Dissly. Will Dissly's been pretty solid lately
Hmm.
at that thin position. You're going to want to start him. Um, on the other side of the ball, Baker Mayfield, obviously, I would not touch him. He's sitting for
Poo
sure.
nuggets.
It needs to drop him, really.
Yeah. He's poop. Yeah.
And honestly, really the only Browns player I feel comfortable starting is honestly Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
And
Comfortable.
comfortable. I mean, if you have OBJ, you're probably starting him
No.
because of the talent, but you
It's
don't
there.
feel great about it,
No.
because he hasn't. Because what Baker's done so far.
I
So
was actually going to bring up the idea that they should just throw in OBJ at quarterback. I would be perfectly okay with sucking up those points.
I'd love to see how that plays out.
They just,
Because
just give it a whirl,
Baker
man.
hasn't done it, so
I would be perfectly fine with it. It would be an okay experiment with me. I could use it for one game.
yeah. But Jarvis Landry, another guy I'm sitting too. I just
They're just terrible.
that offense. Yeah, that offense is really they're just looking to give Nick Chubb the ball right now.
Yeah, that's what they need to do. It's more running back. Hope Kareem Hunt comes back soon. Yeah, was it week 6 now?
Maybe when Kareem Hunt comes back, maybe that'll change something. I don't know.
Yeah, they could always flex him out into the slot receiver. Yeah, they could just make things happen. But right now, it's just all Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
And it's too early still to call him a bad quarterback, as bad as he looks. But he was just not ready for the hype. He was not ready to be a Super Bowl contender. Just, it's not there. He is too wound up, and that's all I can say about him.
Yeah, just needs a little more time to ease into it, probably. But
yeah, he was not ready second year to come in with Super Bowl expectations all of a sudden.
No, for sure. But all right, next game, Texans at Chiefs. Texans side of the ball, Watson, Hopkins, Fuller, you're all starting them. Fuller definitely after that hot game that he had. They're probably going to look to give him the ball again, so definitely want to plug him in your lineup. Carlos Hyde, you may want to start if you're needing a flex play, depending on your lineup. He's been running the ball pretty well.
Yeah, Carlos Hyde is. They are anti-Duke Johnson right now.
Yeah, definitely. And I think he's near the top running backs in like yards per carry this season. So he's been effective when he touches the ball. So just someone to consider. On the Chiefs, Tyreek Hill, he's back to practicing. He may start this week. He may play this week. So something to look at. And if he's playing, obviously you're putting him in your lineup.
Yeah, it's one of those guys also, if you wasted the draft pick on him that high, if he's in the game, he's in the game.
He's in the game for sure. Mahomes, Kelsey, obviously you're starting those two. Sammy Watkins, it's looking like he's probably not going to play this week.
The only one I would look at, if Tyreek Hill is not playing, Mecole Hardman.
Yeah.
I would definitely drop
Mecole Hardman, and even maybe Demarcus Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
One of those two. And then, so I want to know what you feel about Damian Williams, because he's back in the rotation, back healthy, and he's going to be playing this week. I don't know what you think about him this week. Start or sit him?
Start or sit. It's tough to tell. It's just Andy Reid's offense. They have 3 running backs that they could give the ball to. Yeah, I own LaShawn McCoy right now in our league. Yeah, and right now, I mean, as far as starting him, it's too tough to tell. It's who's gonna have the hot game.
Yeah.
No, generally, if you drafted him, you should have a better option at running back, if not something not too far behind. Honestly, yeah, I would pass. I would sit all. Well, I am sitting my Chiefs running back LaShawn McCoy, but I would sit him. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I was leaning towards too. Yeah. Moving on. Redskins at Dolphins. There's really not much to talk about here, to be honest. Honestly, the only guy that I would even remotely feel comfortable putting in the game is Terry McLaurin. And even him, I don't know if I'm starting this week. I think there's just better guys with better matchups at the receiver position this week that I would put in. And he does have a great matchup at the Dolphins this week, but
it could be a close game.
Yeah. But if you're desperate, maybe consider Adrian Peterson, because he could see a heavy workload this week. And it is a nice matchup against the Dolphins,
and that's what I want to see is what their new coach. They also had the coaching change. That's true too. How much is going to change? If anybody, I would start Adrian Peterson over Terry McLaurin.
Yeah. I would agree with that actually. I definitely. I see.
It's Miami. Yeah.
I definitely see them just running it down their throats as opposed to putting it through the air with whoever they got a quarterback.
Yeah, whoever it is. Is it Colt McCoy again?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah, I think it's Colt McCoy again.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. But that's
not a pickup of the year.
About it with that game. I would stay clear of everyone else there. Moving on to the Eagles at the Vikings. Deshaun Jackson's probably going to be out. He's doubtful this game. Probably not going to be playing. Carson Wentz. I would sit him this week. I think he's got a bad matchup against the Vikings. Vikings are a tough defense. So I personally would sit him this week. I know he's been a pretty solid quarterback this year, but I think if you don't have any better options, then you might be stuck with him. But if you do have a better option, I would go that way. Alshon Jeffrey, Zach Ertz, you're probably starting if you have them, besides the bad matchup, but just because probably where you drafted them. You hope definitely Zach Ertz. Maybe Alshon Jeffrey, you might have someone better, but
it's still 50-50 which Vikings team that's going to show up to the game too.
That's true too. Yeah. That is true.
Well, that's more or less offensively, so it could just ruin the game plan if the Eagles do get a lead and the Vikings can answer, because right now they've been horrible on offense, but I'm sure we'll get more to that.
Yeah, definitely. Eagles running backs, I'm staying away this week. Just both of them. I mean, one, it's a committee, and two, the Vikings, they've been pretty solid against the run. So, yeah.
I own no stock in any Philadelphia running back. That was one I wanted.
I do own stock in Miles Sanders, but purely in a dynasty standpoint, and that's it. And even then, like, if he stays in Philly, like, how much value will he have? You know, because it just seems like they always do running back by committee there.
And Jordan Howard's been having a nice little bounce back couple of weeks, which is bad for Miles Sanders, but.
True, but like in the long term, even when Jordan Howard's not there anymore, you know, will they always do a running back by committee? I don't know.
Right.
It's just something to think about. But over on the Viking side, Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, both those guys you're definitely starting. Stephon Diggs, he's a guy that's been kind of iffy this year. I do think he has a good matchup this game because the Eagles have been a little weak against the pass. So you may want to consider starting him, even though he hasn't been performing like he should. But Cousins did have a better game last week, so you hope that continues. And
he force-fed a lot of throws.
Yeah.
But better stat line, yeah.
And Cousins, I'm not starting.
No.
I was never starting him. Always sitting.
Yep.
I think that's all there at that game, unless you have anything to add.
No, not at all. Just how thin the tight end position. Maybe throw Kyle Rudolph's name out there. I would start him. They haven't been able to score, which leads them to having to pass a lot. Kyle Rudolph might have a shot. It's just if tight ends, if he's on your roster still somehow.
I still am just against Kyle Rudolph. He's averaged probably like one target a game.
Yeah, no, it's been
just I don't know. That's not enough for me. So, but I mean.
Tight end's always that position, though. If you need at least somebody, that upside, that touchdown upside is there. It's there somewhere. Indeed.
But all right, moving on. Saints at Jags. Drew Brees obviously still out, so Teddy Bridgewater's starting again.
Teddy Bridgewater.
So are you starting Teddy Bridgewater?
Yeah. I mean, if you have him and you picked him up. Yeah, I would. I mean, if he's on your roster, if there's ever a game to use him, sure. He's been showing flashes of what everyone thought he could have been 5 years ago. No, yeah, and still just the weapons around him. Sean Payton will find something to highlight what Teddy Bridgewater does well. Sean Payton's a Hall of Fame coach. He's going to be. Yeah. No, yeah. If you haven't and you picked him up, yeah, no, I would start him. You're not
Um,
starting him. You're starting everybody around him. You know what I mean?
oh yeah. Oh no, for sure. Uh, yeah, Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, you're starting for
Mm-hmm.
sure. No surprise there. Um, on the Jag side of the ball, Leonard Fournette, DJ Chark. I think you're definitely starting those two.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get down to Gardner Minshew Mania. I think in my eyes this week you're starting him. I
Mm-hmm.
think he's a starter this week for sure.
Indeed.
And he, and this is something interesting that I didn't know until I was doing a little research this week is he scored 16 fantasy points in all his games he's played. That's pretty impressive.
Not a bad start.
In standard scoring, not in our scoring.
No.
Not in our league because our league's kind of
And all the passing
points. Yeah.
New Orleans just gave up last week to Dallas. Yeah, I would start Gardner Minshew also.
Yeah.
DJ Shark, yeah.
That connect. They just seem to have that connection.
Mm-hmm.
And it's exciting to watch. So
it's fun. The Jaguars is a team I would like to just see come up. Just the division they're in, I'd like to see them get better in general.
So does DJ Shark have like that nickname Baby Shark because of the song?
Oh yeah, DJ Shark.
I feel like I heard.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like I heard something about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know if his name's pronounced Shark or Chark, to be honest.
Chark, yeah, it's however you want to say it.
Yeah. Oh well.
DJ Shark.
Shark sounds better to me.
No.
All right, moving on. Bengals at Ravens. AJ Green still out, but I guess he's looking to get in next week.
If he doesn't
and also
get traded.
I know there was like speculation that he was going to get traded, but Zach Taylor, the head coach, came out and said he's not trading him, so that's not happening.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's just talking, trying to drive up somebody else's price.
It could be that too.
Like, because I'm looking at AJ Green. He's totally tradable. He's totally tradable.
Oh, yeah.
He's on the other side of 30. He's injury prone as can be.
Oh, for sure. He's missed a lot of time the past 2-3 years.
Real life football and fantasy football. He's tradable if you even have him on your team.
Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, but for this week he's definitely out this game. So Tyler Boyd, you're starting him.
Tyler Boyd,
yeah. Joe Mixon, I'm sitting him.
I'm sitting Joe Mixon. Yeah, he's having a down year.
He just really is. He hasn't had any rushes over 20 yards this season.
Yeah.
It's just not. No big play at all this year, and the O-line's just terrible.
Terrible.
So that just doesn't help.
Just the Bengals are terrible.
Yeah, the Bengals are terrible. The Bengals just bone you. So Tyler Boyd's probably the only Bengal I'm starting.
Only, yeah.
Ravens side, few injuries to look out for. Mark Andrews, he's back at practice today, so it looks like he's going to likely play this week.
They always have him listed with some injury. It's been the foot. Yeah. It's been he just doesn't practice, baby. Yeah, no, you're starting him though.
Definitely start him. He's a top 5 tight end for sure. Hollywood Brown, he didn't practice again today. If he plays, he's more of a risky start. I'm not sure if I'm starting him this week if he plays. Lamar Jackson, Mark Ingram, both starts this week. No surprise there.
Who was their running back last year? What was it? Gus Edwards.
Gus Edwards.
Whatever happened to Gus Bus?
Dude, Gus was a bust for sure. I still got him. I got him on my dynasty squad. Still
sitting down there,
just waiting to handcuff.
Yeah. But yeah, moving on. I don't know why that just.
He's gonna have his time.
Whatever happened to old Gus Bus? Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, moving out to Cali. 49ers at Rams. 49ers, really the only guy I'm confident in starting is probably George Kittle at tight end.
George Kittle knows. Trying to think of their wide receiver's name. I don't have it in front of me, but
Marquise Goodwin.
Marquise Goodwin.
Marquise Goodwin's like their number one receiver,
Yeah.
but with Jimmy Garoppolo,
Jimmy Jesus.
I mean the 49ers are looking good, but
Yeah,
I
dude, they're
just
looking legit.
fantasy wise, I'm just other than like the defense and George Kittle,
Matt Breida.
kind of staying away. Matt Breida, yeah, he could be. Yeah,
Matt
flex
Breida.
play. I didn't even think about him.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Breida always seems to slip my mind. I feel like he just kind of always.
Oh, the right
He's a
back.
forgettable name.
Oh, the forgettable guy over there. Don't they still have Jerick McKinnon on the lineup?
They do, but I think he's on IR though.
Probably. That would make
I
sense.
think he went back on IR again. But,
Money well spent.
He boned me last year. You remember that?
Money well spent.
Like an hour after the draft.
Yep. Done.
Done. Tore an ACL practice. God damn it. Jeez. Moving on to the Rams though. Kind of big injury news. Todd Gurley didn't practice yesterday. So
What
this
did they
is
say?
something
Why?
that we were all kind of crossing our fingers and waiting for, and knew it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of iffy. We're not sure if he's going to play this week.
Did they give a reason why he didn't practice?
They said his quad.
His quad.
But like, is it his quad, or is it just saying that it's a quad and just kind of downplaying his knee? You know?
Yeah. He needs to take some practice off. He can. He's fine.
He's probably fine, but when it's Todd Gurley, you got to pay extra attention.
It's the arthritic condition that would scare me off. Only because, again, it's not an injury. That's an ailment. And generally an ailment that just doesn't go away. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's going to have days where, it could be, that'd be the blessing. If it's just a practice day. You just woke up and nope. There are those days. But I think he'll actually play.
I do too. I mean, I have him in my lineup, so I'm hopeful that he plays. Mm-hmm. If he doesn't, obviously Malcolm Brown's the backup. Now, I'm not sure if I'd start Malcolm Brown right away against this 49ers D.
No.
Though this week.
Not for you. 49ers are looking
but definitely someone who's going to be picked up a lot for sure. I know.
Yep.
Jared Goff, he's kind of borderline for me. He's against his 49ers again. This D's been really tough and legit this year, so he's borderline. He's 50-50 for me.
He always finds Cooper Kupp though.
He does, and who you should start every week. Cooper Kupp, and Robert Woods you should start.
But not start Jared. Somebody's got to get him the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks. He's the last of the three receivers I'm starting. Yeah. Obviously. If you're desperate, throw him in there. But I mean,
not too excited about it. There is some limits to Jared Goff.
And for me, I'm starting Gerald Everett this week. I just think
he's been on the up and up.
He's been hot. It's a thin position. There's a lot of buys. There's a lot of injuries at this position this week with Evan Ingram out. I just think I have a gut feeling with this, and I'm just gonna do it.
Gotta go with the gut.
Going with the gut. Gerald Everett. You heard
Gerald Everett. But it's just tough to tell, man. I mean, with Nick Bosa or Joey Bosa, right?
No, and I know that is tough, but that 49ers D is legit this year, and we'll see. I'm excited to see. Mm-hmm. So, all right, Falcons at Cardinals. Julio Jones didn't practice yesterday, but this is kind of historic with Julio. He kind of doesn't really practice, and
he gains nothing from practice.
Yeah, he plays through his injuries all the time, and you're not overly concerned about this. You're starting him. The slight chance that he doesn't play, you're starting Calvin Ridley because he's been pretty good too this year. And they've been throwing a ton.
I'd start Calvin Ridley just because they've been bad at throwing a ton.
I mean, really, you probably should start him anyway.
Regardless, yeah.
Matt Ryan, Austin Hooper, Devontae Freeman. You're probably starting. Freeman, he has been iffy still this year, but I think I'm still starting him
He's
in my
been
lineup.
trending up. I mean, I think there
Yeah.
was some ghost ailment at the beginning of the year they really didn't want to tell everybody about. See, it wasn't that he wasn't getting in the, or doing well. It's just he wasn't getting in the game. And now I think it's whatever happened preseason. He's been on the up and up. I feel comfortable starting Devontae Freeman
I
this
mean,
week.
he's always been a really talented player. It's
Mhm.
just it was just a matter of time, really.
They're paying him all
And
that money.
it was just weird, you know. It just wasn't like him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Historically he's injury prone, so
yeah.
not all too surprising.
Also, the other receiver, Mohamed Sanu, I think I would start him
Mm-hmm.
this week too, because one, the Falcons are passing a ton, and the
Mhm.
Cardinals are really bad against the slot. So that's just something to think about. And I would throw Sanu in there too, if you have him. On the other side, the Cardinals, David Johnson mispracticed again today, so he missed today's practice and yesterday, so he's trending towards not playing this week. And if that's the case, then go get Chase Edmonds and plug him in your lineup. He is going to get a heavy workload. And Chase Edmonds gets work in the passing game, and the Cardinals are going to have to pass a lot in this game.
Well, so did David Johnson, but
yeah,
just I don't know how I feel about Arizona. If you say so. If you say so.
That's my opinion. You express yours. I just
no. It's Arizona. They're not very good. I wouldn't rely too much on them, on David Johnson sitting and then running the ball, getting a lead and running the ball a lot. But
no, I'm not. No. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I think when Edmonds has touched the ball this year, he's been very effective.
And if David Johnson sits, no, I get that. I just don't know how I feel about.
And I'm not saying count on David Johnson sitting and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and plus the Falcons' D has just not been that great this year too. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it looks for a favorable matchup.
That's they aren't the same Falcons. They've been giving up the butt, so you never know.
Kyler Murray, I'm starting this week. It's going to be a high scoring game. 5 points scored. He's going to be running, throwing. Starting him. Larry Fitzgerald, starting him. Christian Kirk, probably starting him too if he's playing.
If he's playing, yeah, he's still iffy.
If he's playing. He practiced today though, so
that's good.
He's trending towards playing. So, okay, moving on. Titans at Broncos. Really, the Titans. I think it's Derrick Henry. Really.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
They got
the
receiver.
Maybe Delaney Walker.
I don't know. Jonnu Smith was in the game, back in the game.
Good old Jonnu Smith.
Good old Jonnu. But I wish I had more research. But Titans wide receiver.
Oh, AJ, you talking about AJ Brown?
AJ Brown, yeah, no.
He had that one good game. I don't know. The thing is Mariota. He's just not consistent, and that really affects the receivers. And
just he's clearly head above tail, their best receiver they've had in years.
Yeah.
Yeah. But go ahead.
I mean, down the road, he for sure could be a legit fantasy player. But right now, this week, I'm probably not playing him. Not if I had him on my team, he's not in my starting lineup. Not this week.
Noted.
The Broncos. Really, the people I'm starting is probably Phillip Lindsay. Cortland Sutton, if he's playing, I know he's questionable with an injury. And then Royce Freeman maybe in my flex. But other than that,
yeah, they got a win last week, but I wouldn't rely on him doing it again. Yeah, Philip Lindsay would be the only one I feel really good about, but
yeah, definitely he's the best. Definitely the most comfortable with him. But I think we can move on from that one. Kind of a boring game there.
yeah,
Cowboys at the Jets. Cowboys side of the ball. I mean, Dak, Zeke, Mari Cooper. You're all starting them. No surprise.
Jason Witten at tight end. I mean,
Jason
been on the
Witten,
up.
yeah, and I mean, definitely again, like I said, I mean, buys this week. There's been injuries at the position, and you
Tight end's that never-ending spot. Right?
You probably need someone to fill, so he's always not a bad person, player to plug in. And he's had like 3 or 4 touchdowns this year, I think. So definitely a big red zone threat. The Jets, really the only guy is Le'Veon Bell. That's it.
Le'Veon Bell. Well, they got Sam Darnold coming back this week.
But I'm not.
How's the chemistry going to be? Yeah, I'm not starting Sam Darnold. I was thinking Robbie Anderson.
Oh yeah.
But no, first week back for Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
no, I wouldn't touch anybody on the Jets except for Le'Veon. Le'Veon Bell, if you have him, you probably drafted him high. You're playing.
I would have maybe started Chris Herndon if I needed a tight end.
But no, something just happened with him.
Yeah, no, but yeah, like I was gonna say, he's out for the game now, so he won't make his season debut this week. So you'll have to wait till next week, hopefully. So, but moving on to the next game, we got Steelers at the Chargers. Steelers, Mason Rudolph had that scary moment with that big hit.
Bad concussion.
Yeah, that concussion. So I'm guessing he's probably going to be out this game.
Yeah, he's definitely out.
Yeah, they're going to be. I think I saw he was at practice though, like limited practice.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were just doing like, I don't know what they were doing, but
no, he'd be at home. But yeah, I'm trying to think. The kid from Samford is starting now. Colin Kaepernick's still sitting at home.
Yeah.
Some kid from
that's just ridiculous.
Some kid from Samford is starting this week.
Wow.
And who are they playing? Or no, when are they playing? They're playing at prime time, aren't they?
Sunday Night Football. Yep.
Prime time, baby. Samford. Samford's finest, baby. Prime time.
Oh man.
See what the kids got.
So yeah. Third string quarterback. I think I'm sitting Juju this week.
Yeah.
I really do. And even in our league, I'm sitting him.
Yeah. No, that's a huge blow. Third string's a huge blow.
It is.
Jets fans will tell you all about it.
And not only that, the Chargers have been solid against the pass this year too.
Yeah.
And Casey Hayward's a top-notch cornerback, and he's probably going to be shadowing Juju this game anyway. So it's just not looking good Juju's way this week. I just would stay away. I wouldn't do it. And if he's your best option and you have to, then I understand.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, but try to stay away.
Yeah.
I think James Conner's really the only guy I'm starting on that team because they're probably going to look to him for the offense, really.
And about as far as yeah, as far as he can throw it, and hopefully his turn around. Yeah.
Well, they don't got Jalen Samuels; he's out, so he won't be able to throw it.
No. Yeah, James. Yeah.
No Wildcat this week.
No Wildcat.
Yeah. Chargers. Phillip Rivers, you're probably starting. Melvin Gordon, Austin Eckler. That's a bit of a situation there.
I would sit them all this week. Yeah.
You're sitting them all.
I would sit them both. Yeah. It's just gonna be too much of a 50-50 split. It'd be you flip a coin.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
Which one's gonna get the touchdown? Yeah.
But like
Eckler breaks one, or Gordon's gonna get it at the end at the goal line.
I know. If you have either one of them, I feel bad.
Yeah.
I really do.
No, I really do.
If you have both, I feel even worse.
Yeah. No, a little bit. a weird position to be in. That's the problem with cuffing.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I honestly, until I see something, probably just either way next week you're starting Gordon. But yeah, first week I wouldn't be sold on starting Gordon and Eckler just because Gordon's going to be in the game. I wouldn't be. I would trend more towards not even starting a single one of them.
Yeah. And I think this week, definitely more than last week, will determine the difference between their shares.
Mm-hmm.
Because last week it was hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
It really was. But yeah, Keenan Allen, obviously you're starting him. Been rock solid.
Mm-hmm.
Until
they get their running back situation. What's their other wide receiver? Mike Williams.
is he still hurt? I think
is he? I thought he was coming back this week. No, I'd have to look into that. But I just forget I said that.
He's been kind of off the radar. I didn't even look to see if he was hurt. To be honest, I didn't. Because even if he was healthy, I probably wouldn't start him. To be honest.
Indeed.
Yeah. Hunter Henry back at practice this week. Something to know. He won't play this week, but looking to the next week. If again, that tight end position's pretty rough. Just scheming for the next week.
Hunter Henry.
The new
iPhone.
Moving on to the final game of the week, Monday Night Football, Lions at Packers.
Lions get a Monday night game, baby.
I know.
Matt Patricia, though, I'm a believer, man. For as little as he actually has on paper, he's doing a lot with them.
Dude, they're pretty well against the Chiefs. I'm impressed. So.
Yeah. Indeed. That was the Chiefs game that sold me on him. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. Kerryon Johnson, Kenny Galladay, both those guys are starting.
Yep.
Good matchups. TJ Hawkinson, I think you're starting him if you need him. Again, because the tight end position's low.
If you need, that was just too bad of a concussion. That was a big one, also a couple weeks back.
That's if he's playing. I know he's still in the protocol. I think they were saying he was trending towards playing this week, but
still, how much is there?
Yeah, true. Oh. Did that happen when he didn't he do that when he tried to hurdle the guy?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Landed right on his nugget.
Yeah. People are trying to do that more and more, and
the
defenders are catching on to it. And
kids out there, keep your feet on the ground. Straight up.
Yeah. Words from expert tackler.
Just keep your feet on the ground, man. It's a lot safer.
Yeah, no, definitely. Marvin Jones Jr. I think you start him.
Yeah.
I'd throw him in there.
They're a passing team. Why not?
Yep.
Green Bay. Depending on what team, the Lions keep trending the way they have.
Yeah, it kind of depends on your lineup. It could be a good
game. But... worst case scenario is that Green Bay will get a lead on them, and they'll be passing the ball anyway. Yeah, I'd start Jones. Definitely.
Over to the Packers. Devontae Adams didn't practice today. So that's something to look out again because he may miss another week. And that's concerning.
Hurting a lot of owners.
Yeah, definitely hurting a lot of owners. Me.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones definitely starting.
Yep.
Don't know why you wouldn't.
Yeah.
He's finally freed.
Yeah.
And hopefully I hope he has another great game like that.
Aaron Rodgers has been relying on him, which is weird to see Green Bay relying on their running back, but
I know.
Signs of a true elite quarterback aging. He starts to look.
Speaking of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, I'm sitting him this week.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
It's not so much.
And the Lions, the Lions have been doing well against the pass. They've only allowed 4 passing TDs. this season. So, and they held Mahomes to his lowest total on the season. So, Lions are something to be feared.
As weird as this seems.
Surprising as that sounds.
Well, yeah, as surprising as that, but what scares me is you gotta dig back real deep. What it had to have been like 13, 14 years ago the last time they've had this kind of even semi-hype, when they went, like, they started the season at 6-2 and didn't win a game the rest of the season. And then it was the year after that is the infamous 0-16 season. So I'm hoping history is not repeating itself. They just fall off the map, and then the 0-16 season.
I hope you didn't jinx it there.
That was the last time. The only reason I really remember that is at the time I was the guy I worked with, one of my managers I was working with. We had a bet going into that year. Like, I remember it so vividly. Is the Lions had just picked up TJ Duckett, and who could pound the ball into the end zone, and that's really what they just couldn't do for a while. We had a bet going into the season that the Lions would go 8-8. I bet him that the Lions would go 8-8. And for being the Lions at that time, when they went, like, they had like a season where they went like 1 wins, 2 wins, 3 wins. Like, it was horrible. And going, okay, we're going 8-8 this year. Like, we bet $100 on it going into the season. And I remember they went 6-2, and he the next day at work, he just came in and he handed me the $100. And I remember just like telling him, like, no, man, it's the Lions. Here, hold on, it's the Lions. Anything can happen, baby. I know we're 6-2, and I'm feeling good. 8, all I need is 2 more wins. Sure shit, they finished out the year 6-10. Just bravo, good job, guys. I should have just took your $100, man.
You should have took it, man.
Just took. Hey, man, Most, man. That counts in the bet, man. You handed over the money. You handed the bet early. Yeah, you
handed the money over.
Yeah, Most it.
I think that. Yeah, I think that ends the bet.
Yeah, no, that does. You handed over the money. Bet's over. But.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, and then I was so pissed off. Yeah, but yeah, that's that. The Lions. I'm hoping for the best with the Lions, but I just remember that so vividly that it really makes me hold off hope that it's just the Lions. We can't have nothing nice. No.
We all are very hopeful of them, and maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
I do think this year they do look a lot better than most years. So.
It's Patricia. I think Patricia might actually know a thing or two. He might have learned a thing or two under the Belichick tree.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. I think Belichick he's definitely a Hall of Fame coach. So,
but yeah,
knows how to win.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think about all the time we have.
Indeed.
Today. Yeah, enjoy the game tonight.
I am.
Win this week.
Indeed. Good luck this week. Good luck everybody out there, and yeah, Godspeed, and hope we all go balls deep into the playoffs. All right, buddy.
Peace out.